Well, good morning, everybody. It's 6 a.m. or just about, and it continues to snow here in Freehold, New Jersey. We're starting to see the rain snow line push northward. So far, Freehold, New Jersey's got about 2.5, 3 inches of snow on the ground, 3 inches on my measurement. I'd say a few other locations around 2.5 inches. It's a very powdery, dry snow, but we're going to start to see more sleet and freezing rain mix in as we move on through the morning. We'll talk about that in just a moment. Just for details on updates today, we're going to suspend the traditional updates you normally see in the morning hours and continue on with these hourly updates until the storm pulls away. And we'll continue to work on developing the forecast for the end of this week in the evening hours as we get more data on that, which looks like possibly another light to moderate snowfall event. So let's dive into the details. Currently, we continue to have snow being reported throughout much of the region, but we are starting to see some sleet and freezing rain down here towards southern New Jersey, rain all the way down towards Wildwood, where we're at 34 degrees. Notice the northeasterly wind, a very important component. As I've said before in the past, if you have a northeasterly wind, you will stay colder longer. If you have an easterly wind, you will change over to rain very quickly. Thus far, with that northeasterly wind, it's doing its job, keeping temperatures rather chilly. Again, around here, and this is going to be very important for later on this morning, around the I-95 corridor, right in here, temperatures are in the mid 20s. It's currently 26.6 degrees in Freehold. Why is that important? Because while the mid levels are warming up, the lower levels, the boundary layer, is remaining cold, and that's only enhanced by the snowfall. So when we're taking a look at the model guidance, which we will in a few minutes, and looking at the progression of precipitation changing over from snow to sleet to freezing rain and rain, that coldest layer is going to be very important to watch because we might be looking at 29, 30 degrees in rain, freezing rain, for a short period of time, which will make this snowfall an even worse icy mess trying to clean up later on. So here's our observations. Like I said, temperatures basically in the 20s. Snow continues. Snow in Newark, currently light snowfall, about 2.5 mile visibility. Down towards JFK, snowfall again, light snowfall, visibility around a mile. We have a lot of IFR conditions here being reported. So when you have IFR, basically what that means for you is delays. So if you have travel plans today, you're going to have to be prepared for some delays. We have MVFR conditions around Philadelphia. So, again, some delays, but not as bad. Temperatures are in the mid 20s. Light snow is continuing. They did not extend the winter storm warnings northward. It's usually kind of difficult to extend them in the northern locations because the level that you need to reach for winter storm warnings in Philadelphia and New York City is higher than it is down towards Washington, D.C., for example. So that's why you're seeing that difference. But again, snow's continuing down here in DC. Let's see if we can pull that up. We're still at 30 degrees with periods of light snow there. So you can see the snowfall continuing. And when we take a look at the radar, we can start to see some breaking up of the precipitation here. That is to be expected. Here is our polar shortwave trying to catch up to everything, and that's going to enhance some of this snowfall for a short period of time, right in time for the morning rush hour. So here's our rain snow line, and this is going to be slow to move northward now. And in fact, we'll take a look at the HRR guidance in just a moment, showing that it's a bit colder than what we were seeing earlier on last evening. And I warned that that probably was the case. It was probably a little bit too warm. So snow will continue, and we'll see some breaks from time to time. And in those breaks, you'll get some flurries, and that's about it in those breaks. But you can see also that it's starting to fill in a bit as well. Within these breaks, they start to break up, and then you get these other areas starting to fill in. And then we have the polar shortwave coming in. In terms of lifting, this is the 925 millibar warm front, and that's what's producing some of the bursts of moderate snowfall. If we just put 925 millibars here, you can see at the mid levels warming up very nicely here. This is your ice line, not rain. Your rain is down here. What you want to do for rain is take a look at 850 millibars and 850 and that is around central New Jersey down southward. Uh, what we're seeing though is that we're seeing snow all the way down to about this level, and then sleet here. So we have a pretty thick cold layer, and then we have this warm air pushing in on top of it, which is typical of sleet and freezing rain scenarios. So again, we take a look at our infrared satellite picture. Plenty of strong lifting. Again, remember what I said with the polar shortwave coming in, the lifting is going to increase. This brings apart another factor here. With the cold air coming in and with the shortwave coming in, this is going to increase lifting, which is going to cool the atmosphere, which is going to slow this line down a bit. Do not be surprised as this lifting intensifies that we get a burst, another round of moderate snowfall taking shape here, and then that freezing line pushes northward again. On the water vapor satellite picture, you can see the polar shortwave catching up. And on our HRR guidance, the latest guidance coming in, again, taking much longer for that rain snow line to push northward. This is by 8 a.m. The snow shield has filled back in, it's intensified. We have areas of ice down towards Philadelphia, southern New Jersey. I would not be surprised if we're very, very close to freezing rain on the Jersey Shore here. Don't be surprised if we're at 32, 33, 34. If you're at 33, 34, you just got rain. If you're at 32, that's going to be a icy scenario for you. And again, I'm getting reports around coastal New Jersey around 2-3 inches of snow, so that's certainly going to add to the factors here. That rain snow line reaches about New York City by about 9:15, and then comes back in, fills back in as we get to 2 o'clock. So from about 10 o'clock to 1 o'clock, we get a little bit of a break around the I-95 corridor again, and then we get our final mix in coming in with this precipitation changing back to snow by about 3 o'clock. Let's see here, hold it. Okay. 1 p.m. we are ending in Philadelphia. By about 3 p.m. we're done in New York City. And about 5 p.m. we're coming to an end in central Pennsylvania and central Long Island and Western Connecticut. And by about 6:30 p.m., we are done with all precipitation throughout the region. So that is where we're at right now. We'll have another update in an hour and see how the storm progresses. In the meantime, stay safe out there.